Good morning. It's 7:10 and we're leaving Burnie Mountain Guest Ranch. Lovely place. Really enjoyed being here. It's a little, I think, what was it? It's like half a mile, something like that, before we hit the trail again. And today should be a leisurely day with a bit of sightseeing thrown in. I say should be because, as you will have figured out by now, none of our plans ever work out. Making our way through the Burnie State Park on mostly flat path makes a nice difference. There's still a bit of that volcanic rock floating around that trips you up, but having fun playing the adjustment game this morning. New backpack.
She's not having a good time with a backpack.
New backpack.
She doesn't like it.
I don't not like it, it's just very different from the Mariposa, which I loved and killed. I was seriously umming and ahhing about replacing the Mariposa with another Mariposa, one that hasn't been tortured to death by me. But while my weight is what it is, I mean my pack weight, I don't think there's any point because I'm just going to torture the next one to death. After a long scramble down some fairly unpleasant hill, this is what we came to see. A closed bridge.
So we're on the Stand By Me bridge.
Which is totally not advisable because this is really
yeah.
It's going, the woods obviously won't be going any further in, I don't think.
Yeah. And for you people that are old, you'll realise what Stand By Me was.
Having scrambled our way down, we're now following a looks like an old overgrown forest road back up on the premise that it shouldn't lead us over a cliff, but you know, we'll see whether this is a better way or not. As we suspected when we walked past it, it's the trail down to the spring is what gets you.
Oh, it is dodgy.
Yeah, and in places it's very dodgy. It's just an old forest road that just clearly eroded away.
15.9.
Yeah. So at this beautiful junction here, if you want to go and see the bridge, go down to the spring and then just carry on beyond the spring. Actually, all the dodgy parts are between you and the spring anyway, so you know, if you need to get down to the spring, you'll have to face the dodgy bits.
Yeah.
Breakfast of champions.
Honey bunnies.
Well earned honey bun after a totally pointless scramble.
Yeah.
It wasn't that the scramble was pointless. I mean, we really wanted to see that bridge, but the way we went about it was stupid. We'd left
560 calories.
We left our packs just off the trail before we started the scramble down. Then came up that spring trail and just couldn't remember where along the trail we had dropped the packs off. And I mean, the side of the trail looks everywhere like this. You know, there's trees and rocks. We knew we'd left it by some trees and rocks. Yeah, well, great. And we'd left them out of sight so that people wouldn't kind of think we'd fallen down the cliff or whatever if they spotted us by accident. So yeah, it took us a while to find the packs again. So we're having a rest now, but yeah, if you want to see that bridge, just go down that spring trail and go back up that spring trail. It's probably distance-wise longer than what we did, but time-wise probably takes you a third of the time.
It's 10 to 12 now. We got here at 10.
Coming up to Burnie Falls. Apparently it's very busy.
Huh?
But then again, it's Saturday on a sunny day. What do you expect?
Here we go. This is what you get in all the videos. America at its greatest. We'll probably be walking down there in the middle.
Oh, it's so lovely and cool down here.
He told me I can't swim.
Bit of a view over, oh, whatever it's called. We're coming up to Britton Dams or Britton Lake, perhaps. I should really consult the maps before I switch on the camera. We had lunch at the falls. Didn't film obviously because it's, you know, it's a Saturday. Everybody and their grandparents were there.
Including the grandparents.
Including the grandparents.
Any more? Deputy Dog. Used to be a cartoon.
I remember Deputy Dog. There's the reservoir. That's quite an impressive little structure. Little, she says. We're about to go over that now. Well, the bit you didn't hear while Brian was impersonating Deputy Dog as I was turning the camera on, he said he wants to get his mouth underneath there. He won't be thirsty anymore. Rock Creek. Just been down to collect some water. And we think we're going to stay here. There's a flattish spot. We think we can squeeze in up that bank somewhere. Meanwhile, Brian is trying to fall down the cliff. I don't know why. It's a bit of a squeeze, but it'll do. Now to cook dinner before the mosquitoes eat us. So today I got back onto the PCT where we'd left it and carried on the very easy flattish walk crossing various dirt roads and a highway, and yeah, generally making reasonable progress. Until we decided to go for our little detour. Now this is the bridge. We followed the PCT up to about there until we could see the new bridge actually. That backtracked because there's no trail to it, so no signpost or trail or anything. So we started just heading into the woods to see what was what and ended up on top of this sort of almost quarry kind of thing. We ended up having to backtrack quite a lot in the rims until we hit a dirt road, an old overgrown dirt road that we could follow down to a new dirt road which then led to the bridge. So on the way back we decided to follow that overgrown dirt road, only to find that it is actually the extension of the trail that goes through Rim Lake Spring. So we could have had a far easier time just going down to the spring, past the spring, down onto the dirt road, but just beware that trail to the spring is very eroded in places, you know, slightly scarily eroded, and it is so on the side of between PCT and spring, so it's not just the extension. In fact, the extension to the Standby Me Bridge is quite mild by comparison. There are some fairly scary bits on that trail to the spring, so just, you know, if you want to see that bridge, go down that road. Save yourself the bother. And then we came back up and couldn't find our packs, so we spent another, I don't know, half hour scrambling around because we couldn't remember. We'd gone down and dropped them by a rock and a tree, and as we came back we realized that everywhere was a rock and a tree. So it took us a while. We had breakfast just once we regained the PCT with our packs. And then, but by which time, yeah, I say breakfast, we had breakfast, but it was nearly lunchtime by then. So we carried on into Burney Falls, or Burney State Park, and took the trail down to Burney Falls, where we had lunch eventually. It was it's beautiful falls. Do not miss them, but it was so busy because it was a Saturday and we'd forgotten in the real world that makes a difference. You know. So I think we got back onto the trail by about 4 in the end, and carried on following some fairly flattish trail, and apparently also changed sections because we are now on Cauliflaganere section O. We left section N. So where were we? Oh yeah, we were going down to the dam, which is another really interesting bit, which is really pretty for a dam. And then kind of started climbing out into the woods a bit. You kind of climb over a little hill there before it starts dropping you down again slowly, and then lifting you up again and dropping you down again and lifting you up again, and you know, it's the PCT. And we eventually made it to Rock Creek for some water, which is where we're now camped.